All right, welcome everybody to episode 13 of the RacPacShow. Here with my co-host, as always, Chad and Ryan, and we have a loaded show today. In a time where we were kind of,
Fucking loaded.
yeah, we were
Like
no,
baked
I know,
potato
like the
loaded.
last couple of weeks, we're like worried about like, oh, football's over, baseball's,
My
not
man.
starting. We don't know what to talk about, but Jesus, was there a lot of news over the past couple of days? So, as we record this on March 10th. No signings yet. Free agency for the MLB just started, so might have some breaking news. Obviously,
I will
you
be
won't see this.
refreshing my Twitter every 5 minutes. So
Obviously
okay.
this won't be out till tomorrow morning, but we might get some breaking news. But with that being said, I think we start off with what is one of the craziest trades I think I've ever seen in the NFL, and that is Russell Wilson traded to Denver. So Russell Wilson and a fourth round pick next year. I think it's next year. It might be this draft. I don't remember, but Russell Wilson and a fourth rounder to Denver for defensive tackle Shelby Harris, tight end Noah Fant, two firsts and 2 seconds, I think, and a fifth. But my first reaction was like, wow, the AFC West is loaded. You're like, in my opinion, Derek Carr was already probably like a top 11, 12 quarterback. And now he's the worst quarterback in that division. That is nuts. That division is absolutely crazy. I'd be interested to look at like recent year or not recent years, but just the history of the NFL. If there's ever been a division loaded as much as this one is quarterback wise, because I mean, good heavens.
Yeah. All I can say is that there's a lot of pressure. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on Russell Wilson to win the Super Bowl now because that organization gave up a shit ton of picks for a guy he's still good. He's still great. He's a great tier quarterback. So
I uploaded a TikTok from our TikTok account at RacPacShow on TikTok. It was top 5 quarterbacks that, and in my opinion, currently, and I put it out maybe 2 hours before he got traded. I have him as the fourth best quarterback in football, in my opinion, only behind Mahomes, Rodgers, and I don't remember who the
put
fuck was
Herbert
it.
in that?
Allen?
Oh,
It was
Allen.
Allen. It was Allen. Yeah, it was Allen. Josh Allen. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like you don't see franchise top 5 quarterbacks getting traded in the middle of their prime. How old is he?
He was like 30.
30.
I think 30, 31.
That's young for a quarterback. And Russell Wilson's one of those guys who takes care of his body. Like he's really, on point. He's a smart guy. He's all about football. He's not like a Ben Roethlisberger type who's just like, he's just playing. Like Russell Wilson has said he wants to play till he's 45. Okay, well that's 14 years from now.
Tom Brady over here.
I mean, with the way the rules are nowadays, quarterbacks can't get hit. He's really good at sliding coming from baseball early in his career. So, like, he's really only had one injury, and that was last year. And it was just kind of it happens to quarterbacks sometimes when their fingers hit the helmet when they're throwing.
Listen, he was just in a shitty situation with Seattle. I think that's why he played poorly this past season. And I think I saw. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I think he was the first quarterback to like join the team that he beat in the Super Bowl.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so that's pretty funny. But this came out of like left field. Like I did not see him going to Denver.
No,
there
because
were no talks about that.
You would get a news like, oh, Russell Wilson put out like 5 teams he'd be willing to get traded to. And like, I know I'd mentioned that before because the Saints were on there. This is before Sean Payton decided to retire. But then like they would come out and Pete Carroll's like, yeah, we have absolutely no intention of trading him. Russell Wilson's like, I'm a Hawk, like this and that. Like we're not trading him. And all of a sudden I'm like, I remember I'm scrolling through Twitter. I'm like, I saw it didn't even click for me at first. I saw it was like an image of him. And it was like said breaking. I'm like, he got traded to the Broncos? I couldn't believe it. In my opinion, we'll have to see what these picks turn out to be for Seattle, but as it stands right now, I think the Broncos got fleeced. I think they could have got more. Or not the Broncos, sorry. Seattle got fleeced. I think Seattle could have got more for top 5 quarterback.
Well, what's going to be interesting now is because it's like, is Seattle going to be in the run for one of these free agent quarterbacks, or are they sticking with Drew Lock? Obviously they made the trade for Drew Lock, so it sounds like they're going to make the starter Drew Lock, but it's like, people would say that he didn't really get a fair shot. And in my opinion, I don't think he's that great of a quarterback.
No, I don't either.
So I feel bad for Noah Fant, but
Yeah, the thing is for Drew Lock is like if he didn't succeed in Denver, I don't think he's
right.
gonna succeed in Seattle. Like
No.
The thing about Denver now for Russell Wilson, he gets arguably a top 5 defense. Their offensive line isn't great, but
Especially Von Miller comes back.
horrible. Von Miller has already said or like posted some stuff on social media. Maybe he goes back there. And like their receivers, I mean, I'm really interested. I'm huge on Jerry Jeudy. I was huge on him before this trade even happened. He was, say again, on one of our TikToks was top 5 breakout candidates. He was on there. So I mean that is even more so now. They're loaded, man. They have 2 really good running backs, especially if they got to re-sign Melvin Gordon, I think. But Javonte Williams looked really good last year. Yeah, that team seems loaded to me. Well, obviously we'll have to see, but
I'm excited to see that division play out. I think Raiders are obviously going to be in last place, and I don't think it's going to be, they're going to be getting killed. I think it's going to be like they're going to be above 500 team, but in last place. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. Or Denver comes out and shits the bed, and maybe they surprise us.
yeah, I mean
That's the only thing.
I would still have Kansas City as my favorite to win the division right now. But man, that division is absolutely insane. And now, a couple hours ago, the Bears, your team, as you have his jersey on, Khalil Mack traded to the Chargers. Just like, I mean,
you
saw
put it on to burn it.
Hell no! You know how much money I spent on this jersey? Hell no, I ain't burning it.
I mean, you think like what the Chargers kind of remind me of is the team that they share a city with. I mean, look at last year's. You had the Rams traded for Von Miller, right? Him and Aaron Donald were, a big deal in the Bucs game, in the Niners game. They on the last drive they were getting after Jimmy G and forced the game to be over. And second half of the Super Bowl, they were wreaking havoc. So now, granted, Joey Bosa has had injury problems. Khalil Mack's coming off a big injury, but they have 2 stud defensive end pass rushers. So,
I mean, if those 2 could stay healthy, they have a great chance of winning that division. With that offense. But
they have Derwin James as a safety, who's a stud. In my opinion, he could be the best safety in football. He's one of them. But
they just re-signed Mike Williams,
yep.
Who was someone I wanted for my team for the Bears. But I think that defense is going to be something if they can stay healthy. I mean, I love Mac. I love them, and I hope the best for him, and I'll follow him while he's in LA. But was it the right move? Absolutely, I think it was the right move to trade him. Free up cap space, and it's almost like a rebuild type of thing. I am a little disappointed though in the return. A second rounder and a 6th rounder for 2023. The second rounders in 2022, but for this year. But I feel like we could have got more, but I feel like Ryan Poles was like, you know what, take what we can get, free up some space.
The reason it's tough is because
he's been hurt.
You look. One, he is coming off an injury. He's not. How old is he? He's not like super young.
Let me look that up.
27.
I think he's still pretty young, to be honest with you. It's just a matter of.
I don't think he's 31. Which, I mean, he's the same age as Russell Wilson, but quarterback is a position where you could play a lot longer. So Khalil Mack's probably got a good amount of time left. 3 to 5 years, I would say, at least. So
just stay healthy.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is he's coming off an injury. He's, getting paid a lot. So Russell Wilson got 2 firsts and 2 seconds. So I mean, getting a second back for him isn't horrible.
I mean, we could turn that second into hopefully an offensive lineman in the draft or something who could turn out to be really good. So we will see on that. But I am gonna miss him. I think he had one of the best opening starts for a team.
This is it was a midseason trade, but if you look at last year, Von Miller, same position, contract year. The Rams are also a team to really be willing to give up picks, but Broncos got a 2nd and a 3rd round pick for Miller. So they're similarly talented players, I would say. I would probably say Miller It's
wish
tough.
that,
They're pretty close.
Miller's probably better.
Miller's probably better, and they got a second and a third. And it was also mid-season where teams are a little bit more desperate. Like, the Rams are halfway through the season. They're thinking, we're close here. And they ended up winning the Super Bowl. So, but in the offseason, it's a little bit differently.
Me personally, give me a healthy Mac over a healthy Von Miller. I think he's better. I think he's way better than Von Miller if he's healthy.
All right, now take the jersey off and say that again.
Oh, I will. He was a stud with the Raiders. Why do you think they were so upset to get rid of him? And then obviously they're laughing in our faces.
Yeah, and look at what the Bears did. They paid how much? Gave up.
That's why I said healthy.
For him,
I'm saying a healthy Mac over healthy Von Miller.
That came back to bite him.
No, I mean, in my opinion, it's a smart trade. And I saw, I don't remember who it was, said it was some Bears fan tweeted like, "Oh, I know you guys want me to be mad about this trade, but do you really think that's who it was? Yeah, do you really think a healthy Khalil Mack is like what makes us good? Like, no, I do agree that like they need to stock up picks. You got to see what Justin Fields is. You got to get him some help because that offensive line was awful. So I think you go heavy at offensive line talent in the offseason draft, whatever. Do what you can because I don't care who your quarterback is. You look at Brady in his career, his losses are always because he's getting rushed. So
they better go out and get a defensive guy then, though.
That division is going to be absolutely nuts. I mean, those games are going to be crazy. I'm really looking forward to those. But
yeah, I mean, speaking of division,
welcome to the division, Josh McDaniels. Head coach of Oakland, Vegas now.
Yeah, and I was also going to say because in division now you have the whole Carson Wentz being traded to Washington. Now he's playing his former team twice. A year.
Khalil Mack technically is too now.
Same, but he's also playing Jalen Hurts, who's the guy who came in
a quarterback is just a more like flashy position, like focus obviously.
Right.
As far as the Wentz trade goes, a lot of people are like shitting on Wentz. It's like it almost seems like it's popular to like call the guy garbage, but I think he's pretty good. 27 touchdowns last year, 7 picks. I think the problem was like all his interceptions came at bad times. I think 6 of his 7 picks last year were in the second half, so they always came at bad times. But I mean, are you taking him over Taylor Heineke? Like it's just.
I mean,
in that division too. Like you look at the NFC, there are, in my opinion, 2 teams that are good. There's the Rams, and with the re-signing of Aaron Rodgers, the Packers, and they probably going to franchise Devontae Adams. The NFC lost Russell Wilson. I just don't like. You look at the division, the NFC West. If Trey Lance is really good, then maybe. The Niners are up there. Cardinals, I just don't believe in the Cardinals. I think they're a good team. I don't think they're anything special.
They're a mess.
And then there's the Packers and the Rams who are going to be up there. I mean, that division alone, the Cowboys are garbage. I'm sorry. Like, they have all this talent that they do nothing with. They choke every single year. You have the Eagles who are, I don't know. I feel like that whole division besides the Giants, like, is just a toss-up. Like, it's just a bunch of average to a little bit above average teams going at it. And the NFC South, now that Brady's gone, is kind of in the same boat. I mean, we'll have to see who Tampa goes after, quarterback-wise. I know the Colts, after trading Wentz, apparently are looking at Jimmy Garoppolo, trying to trade for him, which I'd take Jimmy G over Wentz. I think, you have two. It's kind of a tale of 2 quarterbacks there. Wentz is kind of the uber-talented, reckless. Like, apparently he's not a very good leader. A lot of people were complaining about that. I saw that in the report, but Jimmy G's like everyone loves playing with him. He's not a crazy talent, but he's a good leader. And the only problem with him is he's always hurt. So that's what they worry about.
I want Tampa Bay to give my guy Kyle Trask a shot. I want to see what he can do in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, maybe.
A year behind Brady. He was still good with Florida.
2 years behind Brady? I think he was 2 years behind.
No,
Brady.
2 years. No, I think he was a.
Was it 1? It might be.
I think it was 1. He was with Florida the year before. But yeah, I mean, all this quarterback talk, and then you got the one and only, Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Oh, Pack, go.
4 years. I don't think the details came out.
I know you.
It got it was like 4 years, 200, and then he said that wasn't accurate, but it was accurate that he's coming back. I mean, that automatically makes the Jordan Love pick an absolute misfire. You have a team that is on the cusp of a Super Bowl, like they're a Super Bowl contender, they're one of the top 3 teams in the league at the time, and you waste a first-round pick on a quarterback who is, in all likelihood, never going to start another game, barring an injury to Aaron Rodgers in the franchise, because you're not going to pay him for what? Like, he's played one game, didn't look great, so...
Another 4 years of losing the NFC Championship, too. So...
Yeah, I mean, if there's ever... They're losing pieces this year. That's why I remember I had said last year seemed like the year to do it for the Packers.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, the problem is, though, is like who's there in the NFC? There's, I mean, the Rams.
Right.
But they smoked the Rams in Green Bay last year. So it's tough. So, I mean, like, if the Packers can get good seeding... I'm trying to think. If the Packers can get good seeding and host... I mean, they did this year, though, and lost to a 6 seed. So it's just hard to say with them. You never know. Regular season, you know they're going to be insane, but after that...
Rodgers should have gone.
They'll add a couple pieces, so you'll see who they...
Yeah, not many. They don't have much now if they're going to give Aaron Rodgers $200 million.
Well, they're going to tag Adams, so...
Listen, last year was the year to do it. I don't think these next 4 years they're going to win a Super Bowl, especially with how stacked the AFC is.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, is like you're only going to have to face one of those AFC teams in the playoffs.
Right.
However, whatever team comes out of there is... I
don't know.
Dude, it's funny. The Bengals made the Super Bowl this past year, and like...
Can't bet against Rodgers.
I don't even know if I have... Unless it's the playoffs, then you can.
I will now.
I don't... I don't even know if the Bengals are going to be like top 5 team in the AFC next year. I think the Chargers are going to be really fucking good. I think the Chiefs are obviously amazing. I think the Bills are going to be outstanding. The Broncos are going to be ridiculous. You know, you have the Ravens. I think everyone kind of is going to be sleeping on the Ravens next year because, I don't know, Lamar didn't look great this year, even when he was healthy. But, dude, they lost... Like, you got to think, before the season started, they lost their starting corners, who are both good. They lost both their starting running backs. Lamar goes down halfway through the year. So, and their first-round pick receiver, Rashad Bateman, was hurt, too, to start the year. So, I don't think they're going to get hit that hard by injuries again. So, they'll be an interesting team. If Pittsburgh gets a quarterback, they would be an interesting team. But, shit, I mean...
All I know is that should have... Not just saying this because I'm a Bears fan, but Rodgers should have gone somewhere else. I think he would have had a better chance going. I think he would have had a better chance winning with Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, and maybe Denver. He went to one of those teams. He's got a better chance of going somewhere. Now he's got obviously a great shot of going to the Super Bowl because of how weak the NFC is. But I just think that
the division.
I think it goes to Pittsburgh. That team's automatically better than the Packers with that defense. Yeah. Okay, goes to Colts. The defense, the offense, the weapons he's got, Taylor. I mean, you know, I just think he should have gone somewhere else, in my opinion. But he's a bit of a prima donna. So
I mean, you know what I'm curious about is like, I think I'd said this to you guys, or maybe I don't remember who I was talking to, but literally, not even an hour I think after Rodgers signed was when Wilson got traded, and I'm really curious if Denver had a trade in place for Rodgers. And they were waiting for him to decide if he wanted to leave or stay. And the second he's like, okay, I'm staying, they also had the trade for Wilson on the table, and they pulled the trigger on that.
I could have swore I heard they heard like 2 weeks ahead of time that Rodgers was going to stay.
Oh, did they? No, maybe not.
Like from an inside source, so they just went after Wilson.
Might have been a coincidence.
Yeah, I mean,
it's crazy though. It was like all in the matter of a day and a half, 2 days. Like a lot changed. I mean, now Khalil, that division, I mean, we're going to be waiting a while for football, another 6 months, but I'm already excited. I mean, that's crazy. You know, you just don't see a top 5 quarterback in the middle of his prime getting traded. You just don't see that.
No, I mean,
Brady, when he went to Tampa, like he left, like his free agency is a little different. Like, I don't know. I can't think.
Manning was towards the end of his career.
Yeah, Manning has come, and he was coming off like a season-ending neck injury, which was a little weird. And they had Andrew Luck. Like, they had Andrew Luck locked up. Like, that's just an obvious. Like, this is a different circumstance. Seattle, like, they had no draft capital because they blew it on Jamal Adams, which was stupid. But one thing, I was listening to a podcast, Colin Cowherd podcast. He had Greg Olson on. Greg Olson said in the year he was in Seattle, it felt like everything they were doing was outdated and not like working to their talent that they had on the roster, which I think we're gonna see Russell Wilson do some wild stuff this year because you got to think about it. He had a 70-year-old defensive head coach who was stuck in the mud. Like they were not getting along. There was friction in that relationship. A garbage defense, a awful offensive line, good receivers, good running backs, but the running backs couldn't stay healthy. Now he's going to, Nathaniel Hackett, we'll see. He's coming from Green Bay, one of Aaron Rodgers' guys. He said he loves Nathaniel Hackett, so we'll see. But offensive head coach, young guy, better receivers, in my opinion, better offensive line, better running backs, way better defense. It's going to be wild. Denver's also a tough place to play for opposing teams with the altitude and all that. So that'll be an interesting thing too, is like he'll have to adjust to that, which knowing Russell Wilson, he's probably like in Denver right now on a high school field, like getting used to it. That's how he is. But I'm excited for that. That'll be crazy. That'll be absolutely nuts.
Looking forward to that too as well.
But yeah, I mean, we can get more into that stuff in the recent weeks, but we can pivot over to some baseball talk. So, as of a couple hours ago, baseball is officially back. We are officially back. So,
I bought my tickets for opening day already.
Did you actually?
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say I didn't even know they were on sale.
They haven't even. No, they haven't.
Because it's not even out yet. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Hold
the vote.
So I was talking to Ryan before we started recording. I think so. They canceled 2 weeks worth of games. Well, you think about that. That's probably 10 games per team. Think about it. If a team was playing 5 games each week, they canceled 2 weeks. It's 10 games. It's still 152 games per team technically. Then it's not too bad. We got basically what I was saying is, we were worried about 100 game season. Like we kind of got away with it. Like not too bad of a dent. We'll have 140, probably somewhere between 140, 150 games is where we're going to be. Per team, which is almost a full season.
I know I saw yesterday that the owners were saying that they were still in for 162 games. So I don't know if that was still on the table with a bunch of double headers.
That was
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it was supposed to be canceled. Like they had to make that deal by yesterday for still 162. Obviously, it didn't happen, so they had to cancel that. I don't know if it's right now still on the table.
It's interesting.
That's all I know.
Like
we don't know enough of the details yet.
Yeah, it's like. Obviously,
the double or the extra inning stuff, like the California rule, I think is gone. They're 9-inning double headers now. I think
9 inning double headers. You said
it's 9 innings, I believe they said, and then they got rid of the guy on second to start. It's back to normal extra innings.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
they tried.
If the 162 game deadline was yesterday, or would have been yesterday, and they got it done today, like, I guess it would have to be like, how stiff are they going to be? But I'm hyped, man. Me and Ryan were talking before. I want them to release the schedule so we can, plan our stuff here, see where we're gonna go, what games we're gonna go to, and shit like that. But
they also changed the wild card games, right? Or not wild card now. It's a 3-game series, right?
Yeah, there's no single wild card game anymore. Now it's a 12-team playoff.
I kind of always thought should have happened.
Yeah, one game in baseball is stupid. I think that just favors whoever has the better starter almost. But yeah, no, I'm glad that they got rid of the one game wild card. So this year, universal DH, and then next year, shifts, bigger bases. What was the other thing? Pitching clock. Yes. So, one thing my dad was talking about me this week was he was saying about the shifts. He's like, you can never technically ban the shifts because and that's the thing I'm interested to see is like in a bunting situation, are you still allowed to pull the guy from third in? Like, how are they going to do that? They're getting
rid of bunts.
They're getting rid of bunts.
That's what I thought they said.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Okay,
I'd have to look into that.
We'll say
I'm not for that.
Yeah, no, I'm not for that either. So we'll say for now, we'll just say, okay, so if they're bunting, are you allowed to pull a guy in? How it's going to be about how much movement, double play depth, for example, like how much. What does banning the shift mean by like in like the
first up, their baseman got to stay on their side. Second, first got to stay in there.
Like, I'm interested to see the fine print. Like, banning shifts is such a broad thing to say. I'm interested to see where they go with that, because there's no way they can get rid of certain stuff. Like, certain like the outfielders are gonna have to stay in like very specific spots. Like, there's no way. So that'll be interesting.
Says here, Cubs opening day now set for April 7th at home against the Brewers.
We're never at home to start the year.
Yeah.
Never. Because
and
of the weather.
Probably weren't anyway. Just probably this is the game that on the schedule maybe we're home.
Because I'm always interested. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go to opening day, and they're never home. So maybe we'll go to opening day.
We've gotten snowed out a couple times that when we went to those Sox opening days. Not a fun time.
And we've been to some cold ones. There's been cold baseball.
April baseball. Yeah, it usually sucks.
In Chicago, you gotta get lucky. You gotta get like one of those days we had last week. I think it was 60 out, and then the next day was snowing, and it's like 30 all week, 20. I'm like, dude, it was just 60.
Yeah, it's snowing now, which pisses me off.
Yeah,
but so it says here,
back, man.
Yeah, so it says here there were 4 teams. John Heyman tweeted out. Maybe you've seen it. There's 4 teams that voted no on MLB proposal. Do you guys want to take a guess at what those 4
Mets
teams
were
are?
one, right?
Okay, Mets are one.
New York was New York one.
I know the Mets were one.
Both New York.
Both New Yorks.
So that's 2.
The White Sox.
Oh,
no,
I sound stupid on how you just said that too. You said Mets, and I just said New York, thinking Yankees.
All right, so your Yankees, Mets, and then I'll make it easy. 1 more American League team and 1 National League team.
Was that Cardinals?
Cardinals.
And there was one. I don't know who the
Boston
American team was.
Let's say all 4 of these teams that
Boston
we hate. No.
We hate.
An American team that I hate.
No. You, Chad, specifically will hate them. I don't.
Houston?
Division? The Royals?
Houston?
Oh, Houston.
Okay. So Mets, Yankees, Astros, and Cardinals are the 4 teams that voted no on MLB proposal.
All right, gonna write those down. Now I know who to root against this year because I wanted to watch baseball.
Especially the Cardinals, bro. Fuck the Cardinals.
Oh yeah. I don't mind Houston. I don't mind the Mets really. I don't like New York Yankees, and I do not like the Cardinals, obviously. So fuck them. Fuck those 4 teams.
I saw something that said like I forgot what I was talking about.
you pulled me.
The owner, the MLB like executives, they voted and were like 8-0 for not accepting this proposal, and then like the teams came in and voted, and it was like 26-4, which obviously so they got outvoted.
I don't understand what their thought process was, but
I mean the players were like 26-12 or something like that.
I was watching MLB Network, and they were saying like, he said when he talked, I think it was like that John Morrissey guy was saying he was talking to a close agent of his that was in the meetings with him, and he was talking to a player, and asked the player how he feels about this negotiation, and the player says he feels good at it. He goes, it's not anything that we're completely satisfied with. It's just something that we planted the seed and got some of these ideas going moving forward for the next time. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, hopefully this doesn't happen again.
Next time. Well,
right. He goes, but there was stuff that they still didn't disagree on. They just came neutral for it. They planted the seed for them to think about for future. Other things, I don't know what they were talking about as far as deals, but
at the end of the day, neither party was going to walk away being like, got everything we wanted. There's no scenario in which a negotiation is going on since December, November? When did this start? There's no way, however long it is, January. 4 or 5 months. Yeah, a couple months. There's no way you're coming out of that one team, even one party being like, we got everything we wanted. It's almost a good thing that one side got, both sides are like a little bit unhappy, but they're as a fan, to be honest with you, I don't care. I'm just glad baseball's back. I'm glad this is over with.
At least for
I don't have to hear about or like, sitting on pins and needles every day. Like, is baseball going to happen this year? Like, what is the season going to be like? So I'm glad they got it done. Got minimal damage to the season, if at all. We'll see when they announce how many games there are. I'm looking forward to the schedules coming out, though. I'm ready for that. I'm looking forward to these signings that are probably soon to come here. Hopefully tonight we'll get one at least.
I want one. That'd be
I saw
nice.
the
Yeah,
marquee.
like there's an article that already says there is a full 162 game schedule with a 12-team postseason.
Okay.
And that
I
was
remember seeing 162. I just didn't know if that was on the table.
a couple hours
We're
ago.
looking at possibly the first, maybe going into the second week of October, the season ending then.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, they're still gonna have double headers.
It's
So
gonna
you just
be
gotta work your way
however
around
many
that.
double headers. One thing I was just like scrolling through Twitter and the Cubs or Marquee Sports Center tweeted out like just to like recap the Cubs' move so far. Ryan, it was just traded Harold Ramirez for cash, added Clint Frazier on a 1-year deal, Jan Gomes did a 2-year deal.
Hey, you
Wade
did get
Miley,
Clint
we got
Frazier.
Wade
Forgot
Miley
about
off waivers. Who Wade Miley's okay.
Jeez, dude, that was like a long time ago.
I was talking to my boss
obviously
about
the
Clint
last
yesterday.
one signed Stroman to a 3-year, $71 million deal. And Stroman was already recruiting Correa the second free agency started. So
Well, for that was there was a team that we all hate that asked for Correa's.
What, Yankees?
Yeah, Yankees, Kikuchi. They asked for his physicals, and Carlos Rodon. So they asked for those 3 players before the lockout happened.
Which, I mean, like I said, I think I said this either last week or the week prior. I mean, it feels like no matter who the free agent is or what position it is, the Yankees and the Dodgers are always in for him. Doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. The Yankees have talent, but they always seem to have money somehow. Which, I mean, like me and Ryan said, we need a shortstop, man. If we can't get Correa, we got to go after Story pretty hard. To be honest with you, I don't think Story's going to sign till after Correa. I think he'll get more money if he waits.
I think the big thing that they like got out of this whole lockout was obviously the minimum salary, and then it's gonna be increased, because players want like 715, it's at 700, and it'll be increased to 780 over the next few years.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then the other big thing was the Rookie of the Year stuff.
I saw that.
Like a rookie,
they automatically get a year of service.
Second, yeah, they get a year of service, and that helps them.
That's good.
I think that's a big win.
That goes in line to I hate when teams try to get like stupid control over a player. Like in the NFL, I hate the franchise tag. I don't understand why if a player plays out their contract with the team, there's an option for the team to, and there's nothing the player can do about it, just tag them for a year, and they have to play there again for an extra year. Granted, they're still making good money, but for example, Green Bay's probably was reported most likely they're gonna tag Devontae Adams, which is stupid. This guy's the best receiver in the league. He's been a stud for your franchise, a model player. Like he's been nothing but good, and now he can't go get the bag in that contract and go where he wants because of this stupid franchise tag. I've hated it. I always hated it. I think that's stupid. And that goes in with what I was saying, the years of service thing. They bring up a guy however many games into a season, and then it doesn't count as a year of service. That's stupid.
Same thing. That's what happened with Chris Bryant.
Like
7 games.
And that's a perfect example. Even with our team, I think it's stupid. Like that helps the Cubs, right? Because they'll have 1 extra year of control over Chris Bryant. But even as a fan of the Cubs, I hate that. I just don't. I think that's stupid. I'm pro player in those regards. I think the year of servicing is dumb. Like I don't mind the years of service. I think the way that teams can manipulate it is stupid to basically get an extra year of control. So I love the Rookie of the Year thing because it's going to go in line with the best players. Best rookies are going to.
So this guy I saw on TikTok, and he said that like the last 3 seasons of free agency, like his predictions have pretty much like been very close. And so like I'm like, all right, so his predictions for this year were like now starting off with 1, he said Carlos Correa to the Cubs. He said Nick Castellanos to the Phillies. He said Bryant to Mariners. He said Trevor Story to Cardinals, along with Carlos Rodon. And like it's just obviously it's just that's all talk. But he just said like, hey, like I'm no expert. He's like I just make my predictions. During the offseason. He goes last 3 seasons I've been pretty accurate with my offseason predictions, and so here's mine for this season. That's pretty much what it was. And so obviously it's nothing to take to heart and to honestly believe him, but I just thought that was pretty interesting because
Yeah, I mean,
who knows?
I've been seeing, as far as Chris Bryant goes, I've been seeing 3 teams that are like, I've been seeing Mariners, I've been seeing Mets, and I've been seeing Blue Jays. Those are kind of the 3 teams that I've been seeing that are kind of, favorites to land him. As far as Correa, I've been seeing, obviously I've been seeing Cubs, I've been seeing Yankees are kind of the 2 teams. Story, I've been seeing Yankees. Of course, I don't, it's
Reuniting. If Story goes to the Cardinals, reuniting with Arenado,
that's true. Damn, dude.
they would have a really good infield. They'd have a really good infield, unfortunately.
I mean, they would be the Rockies when they had them both, but with better pitching and just better all-around players. I mean, you have
Because their second baseman, I think they were Tommy Edman, right?
Yeah,
and I know they moved
have
him a
Goldie.
lot. Goldie, yeah. I mean,
did Yachty retire? I don't remember.
Not yet. I'm waiting
No,
for him to retire.
So Yachty didn't retire yet.
Piece of shit. He's such a baby. That guy's a drama queen.
I'm man.
Tell us more.
Well, Philly. I've also been seeing Phillies for Chris Bryant. Dude, I'm like,
that would be a good pick for them.
I'm like hard scoping Twitter like an hour ago. Chris Bryant is being heavily sought after by Seattle. Man, dude, I'm Phillies.
I'm fine where I found this bunting thing. I could have swore Jeff Passan said it.
Dude, I'm like,
I hope that's not true. I mean, if you find it, you find it, but that shit's dumb, I think,
that
in
is
my
stupid.
opinion. No bunting. It's like, all right. Well, I mean,
veteran MLB player tells me, and Buster only retweeted this. Unvaccinated players can't play in Canada, and under the new CBA, they will not be paid or receive service time for those missed games in Canada. So shit. I mean, Toronto players.
What happened?
They're vaxxed. Buster only retweeted this. I don't know who this guy Duke Castiglione said. A veteran MLB player told him, and an MLB official confirmed, unvaccinated players can't play in Canada, and under the new CBA, they will not be paid or receive service time for games missed in Canada. So, fuck, I mean...
Could be like a Kyrie Irving situation.
Yeah, except...
a lot more games.
Toronto's the only Canadian team, yeah? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no... I know there was talks about the Rays movie.
I'm not getting into that, but
yeah. So it was. I saw. Yeah, it was this place or some Twitter page called New York Porch Sports that tweeted MLB and MLBA agree to ban on bunts in hopes of reaching younger audiences.
I think that'd be such a bigger topic. Everyone would be talking about that. So I don't know if we'll see. I mean, obviously, if maybe it'll pop up.
Yeah. I mean, it was a couple days ago when they talked about it. So it could have just been like lost in all the other baseball talk that they were trying to, all those proposals and stuff.
Yeah, because now you're just changing the game, man. That's just changing the game for all these people who don't really watch baseball. The younger generation that don't. Really care.
Yeah, it kind of goes like hand in hand. It's like shifting. All right, you can't bunt because we can't shift, or something like that.
You're just changing the game right there if you do that.
This the universal DH being implemented this year is really, really interesting. I'm interested to see. Nelson Cruz is a free agent.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should have fucking done some kind of free agent predictions now.
I mean, we could I could pull it up again.
We can go really quick and go through the top 10.
Yeah, we got time.
Kind of went through mine already.
Well, that site. We don't have to go to every single thing. We'll just kind of touch on.
I think Cruz
give
goes
some updated
to
stuff.
NL team.
I think Cruz is also going to go to an NL team.
He's gonna go to
Padres.
I mean,
he's gonna go to Giants.
And that's the thing too is, you got to think of. This is it's interesting. I'm trying to think like I said for the Cubs. The problem was, are we going to get Rizzo back? We have Schwindel. Okay. Well, now you can have Schwindel DH and sign Rizzo to play first. It's interesting. Okay, so we have Nelson Cruz, free agent. He's 41, so obviously it'll more than likely be a 1-year deal.
He's going to go to an NL playoff team, which I'm going to just say Padres. Top of my head, Padres.
Yeah, I could see the Dodgers. Wait, is
That
did
hurts.
Pujols retired?
Yeah.
He retired?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Really?
sure he retired. I
Pujols
thought he did.
retired? I
No,
don't think
maybe
he
not.
did. I feel
Oh,
like
you
that
know
would
what?
hurt.
No, I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
Long time ago.
It would have been a big story. I don't think that he did.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I thought he did, but
Current team, it says he's still with LA.
yeah, so he's
Which,
still with
you
them.
know, they might keep him to be the DH. We'll see.
That guy's a fossil.
Yeah, I mean, he's okay. He's not as good as.
He's some of these kids on the players, or
What
these
did we
players
say?
on the team's dad, like, well, pretty much. Like,
What did you say, Chad?
What did we say?
What
Pujols?
about?
Oh, we're talking about Posto.
Yeah. No, I
Say
said
he's-
maybe
So he's a
LA.
fossil.
But I could see Padres. I could definitely see the Padres.
I'm gonna go with the Giants.
I could
Either
see
the Giants or
I could
or
unfortunately see the Cardinals.
yeah, I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to say
I didn't
that.
even think about the NL
I could see
Central.
the Mets. I could see
It could
I could
be a
s-
Brewer.
I could see the Braves. I could see.
Shit, he
I
could be a
s-
Brewer.
I could see the Brewers.
Dude.
I could see that. Reminds me of a little bit of a Jesus Aguilar.
Like
That's a
I
friendly.
don't know. Like
home
even
run park,
people
too.
who are nervous about Castellanos' fielding might be like, oh, Jorge Soler is a free agent.
Mm.
Another one.
He's gonna stick in the NL.
He might stay in Atlanta now. Might stay in Atlanta now.
Hey,
Is Jock staying in Atlanta or is he a free agent?
What did we sign him to? You remember?
I think it was a 1-year deal. It was, I believe. I mean, you know what? I'm thinking of a whole different sport. I'm thinking of Fleury. Fleury was a 1-year deal. I think Jock
Mm.
I think it was
for
a 2.
Bryce Ball, first
7,
baseman in the
20.
minors.
Or no, it wasn't one. Wait, with a mutual option for 2022.
Yeah, I think it was
Oh,
just a 1-year deal.
He'll probably just do 1 year.
I mean, here's the thing: if Jock Lee, you know, Atlanta's like, okay, Jock, Jorge, and I think they're gonna go with Jorge, just because I don't know.
He's
I
a
don't
free
know.
agent. Technically, Doc Peterson declines mutual option, becomes free agent. So
He could be a DH as well. You know, I mean,
he definitely
shit.
could. Yeah, he is on here. There he is. He's 30. Him and Soler are the same age.
I'm gonna pray that Freeman stays with the Braves.
I'd be shocked.
Otherwise, if he does leave, he's going into pinstripes.
Right. Suck.
Who knows? There's gonna be teams that could shock us. I mean, look at football. No one who thought Denver was getting Russell Wilson. You know,
No,
so baseball could be doing the
thing
same
with
thing.
that is
I think it gives a trade, but
well, no, not even that. Is Denver was just the whole Aaron Rodgers thing was always retire, stay, Denver. That seemed like the three things. Like Denver was big in that, but then all of a sudden they went and got a quarterback. It was just not the one anyone thought.
I just see this like some trades that are like not trades, but pickups that are like, whoa, maybe even trades. You know,
This
like
guy,
okay.
Well, there's gonna be trades. I think the
I don't know
A's
who
are gonna
this is.
trade.
Michael Balco. He's verified on Twitter. He's got a podcast on ESPN apparently. Hearing that Braves first baseman Freddie Freeman will pick between the Braves or Yankees once free agency opens. So I don't know how credible that is.
I know who Balco is.
Yeah, but I mean that's what he said. So
you better stay in Atlanta then. I don't want to see him. I wouldn't mind seeing him on a different team, just not the Yankees or the Cardinals or anywhere in the NL Central besides the Cubs. So or even the White Sox.
I do think the Yankees pick up either Story or
Yankees are gonna get who either Story or Correa.
Yeah, they're gonna get one of them. And I feel like Houston gets the other. Maybe Correa stays. Maybe he doesn't.
I think that do we need a shortstop?
I want to know. Like I said, I think, and I'm not throwing out the possibility of Story going to the Cardinals as well because I could totally see it. Unfortunately, he fits there. Yet, you know, they probably move the Young, you know, and
Young struggled at the plate.
Yeah, DeYoung's not like you have a chance to get Trevor Story.
He's a Gold Glover, but he's gonna struggle at the plate.
He's like Kevin Kiermaier.
Trevor Story is So good on defense,
agent.
underrated. He's so fast. He's a good hitter. Like, I don't know, Paul DeYoung, who cares? They can get Story. I think they will. Especially him and him and Arenado back together.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. Of course, not to the team that I would like, but it is what it is. And I mean, and then you got some pitchers like Rodon. Like, you guys see him resigning
It's
him,
tough.
or
As much as I want to, I don't think we got room for him. If we do, okay, if the Sox did sign him, I want them to make him like a one every like 10-day starter, so he skips a start, because then he'll be healthy for playoffs.
and
That's the
it's
only
also
thing
if
that I'd really want to see, because we still got Kopech. We don't know what we're doing Crochet, if he's going to go down and start, or if he's going to stay up and possibly try and start, or just be a reliever. I mean, we're still trying to sign, I think, another reliever. So
are you
there's
guys
some
trying?
options.
Are you guys? Well, one, I know Rodon. If that were the case, they offered him. I don't know if he would take it. Being a starter for 10 days. But are you guys planning on moving Kimbrel, or are you guys keeping him?
No, we're moving him. Someone's taking him, and he ain't staying here. He was that bad. We signed Graveman. Um,
You're
I don't
welcome.
see, I don't see Kimbrel staying here. I mean, he wants to be a closer anyway, so he's probably expressing his um feelings on getting traded. So I think we trade him to some team. I just don't
Probably a
know who.
contender who needs one.
Yeah, it's some
I think
playoff
that'll
team, but I
be
don't know
I
who.
think
I
that'll be
can't see it.
more I think that's gonna be more of an in season thing, to be honest with you.
We might we might trade him for like some kind of, just like draft picks or something. I don't even know if we'll
Unfortunately,
trade him for.
we could use him just because now we just lost Cody Hewer to Tommy John, which really sucks.
Yeah,
I think he
Arbuthnot was
fell off a
Sorry.
nice.
horse. I don't know what he was doing. I think something about.
Off a horse.
I think he fell off a
Dude,
horse.
You got Tommy John. You got Tommy John falling off a
I don't know.
horse?
Someone said I saw something like one of the comments was
That's
like maybe
fucking
he shouldn't have
crazy.
been riding that horse or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Hey, Cody
But
Hoyer he's a great
he was
reliever,
good
but
for
not at
us. He was
top.
good for us.
Yeah, I liked him on the Sox. I think he got a little too predictable, but I mean, he seems like he's probably a good fit for the Cubs. Just
Yeah, I
sucks that
mean,
now you gotta wait.
the problem is now for the Cubs is one, there's two players I really want, and that is Correa, obviously, and if we can't get him, Story, but if not, then Rizzo. I want Rizzo back. I don't care. I just want him back, especially with the
The
DH
thing with him
thing.
is, yeah, I can see him going to the Cubs. I just see other teams offering him a little more money
Yeah, and
for his defensive
a
skills.
couple weeks ago, I got a notification saying that the Cubs and Rizzo were interested in a reunion. I don't know, how deep that
I wouldn't be
was.
surprised if he goes back, but if he leaves, also wouldn't be surprised.
well,
I'm still 50-50. I wouldn't
what's
say
in,
leaves. I would just say goes to another
imagine
team.
imagine Rizzo signs with the Cubs, right, and then Freeman stays then with
The
Atlanta.
Braves.
Okay, now let's say Yankees move Voit. Now
I
who's the
don't think
first
they
baseman
would.
for the
I don't think
Yankees?
they would move Voit.
Your
If
first
that if
baseman
those
would
if those
no no no
first two
no no
things
no
happen,
no. Here, listen. If they move Voit, don't get Freeman and don't get Rizzo. Their fourth option, his name is Matt Olson, because the
that's
A's are
true.
looking to trade,
It's true. They are
and
looking to trade him.
they got guys to trade, so they'll give him
Facts.
money. A's are going to trade both their Matts, Matt Chapman and Matt Olson. It just depends on where Matt Chapman's going to go. If I can see Matt Olson in pinstripes because he's got a lefty bat.
Could see that too. Yeah.
I guess I'd
Unfortunately,
rather
They
I
still
hate
have
it.
have
Joey
I hate it,
Gallo.
but
He's not a free
I don't think
agent.
so.
I don't think he's
oh
a free agent.
Do they have
Joey
Gallo still?
Gallo.
I don't think so. I
oh
think they just tried to have him to get extra.
No, I don't think he's a free agent. I really don't.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
invest in Joey Gallo after this year though.
Yeah, he's a free agent next year.
No
Joey
more
Gallo's a free agent
shifts.
next year.
Oh, he'll be hitting those singles down the right field line.
Did the shift really hurt him though? I swear he either struck out or hit homers.
It was either that or he popped up a lot.
Yeah, but
Hinted
I
only hits
mean,
fly
when
balls.
they do the shift though, too, they're
It's
kind
all
of like
mental too.
you're trying to fuck with your swing
You're
and
forced trying to yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I think the Sox either get Brian or Castellanos. That's my two picks.
Oh, there's
Sox.
okay. So universal DH, playoffs expanded to 12 teams. limits to the number of times a player can be optioned to the minor leagues in one season.
Yeah, 5.
There's a draft lottery now.
Yeah, you can only be in it so many times before you get booted.
Draft pick inducements meant to discourage service time manipulation. I think they said that wrong.
Yeah, I read all those.
Draft picked incentives. Discourage service time manipulation. Which, are you really gonna not manipulate service time? Like, say you have a guy like Ronald Acuna. Are you really gonna worry? Oh my God! But if we bring him up now, we'll lose a year of service time, but we'll get a draft pick. No, that'll be interesting to see. And I'm just really hard scoping this.
Yeah, I think Kershaw stays with the Dodgers.
Yeah,
that's the other one too.
Someone. For some reason, I could see them signing like
I'm interested in the
Chris
DH.
Bryant too. I don't even freaking know.
I'm interested. Like, I would love to go through and look at like, okay, if
where's Schwarber gonna go to? It could be a DH.
The thing I was reading was Mets as well. One thing that says like, or the Mets. One tweet was like Schwarber or Bryant will probably be with the Mets. So.
Well, they are talking about moving McNeil and or Conforto. So.
Well, Conforto's a free agent.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, Conforto's a free agent. So.
I swear to God,
they do need to play. I mean, he's a lefty bat. I mean, Schwarber would be a decent replacement for Conforto, in my opinion.
I just feel like that's one of the moves the Sox are going to make is go after him, and I really don't want it.
Schwarber?
Conforto.
Oh, Conforto. I could see it. Yeah, you guys need to.
He's been on their radar.
I could see that.
I
don't think he's bad. I just don't think. Well, the problem with him has always been the problem with him has always been health. And like I feel like every year he goes off at the beginning of the year and then just sucks at the end. Which you'd rather have that the other way around. Dude, I can't get over this Russell Wilson trade though. I mean,
I'm just gonna say Sox make 2 moves and they trade Kimbrel, so they make 3 total. That's how many more moves they're gonna make before the season starts.
Dude, oh man.
If you ask me, Ryan, who would you rather have the Sox get, Bryant or Castellanos?
You're gonna say Bryant.
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
I would rather you guys get Castellanos.
I'd rather have you guys get Castellanos.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't want Chris Bryant in the South Side. I'm sorry.
Man, I mean, it would kill me. It'd be almost like Arenado going to fucking.
I mean, here's the thing.
That killed me.
Well, here's the thing. This is why. I would say Castellanos is probably right now. Offensively, he's definitely better. Defensively, probably not. But with that being said, Chris Bryant, won Rookie of the Year, came up through our system, won MVP with us, won the World Series with us. Castellanos was here for half a season, and we didn't really do anything. I mean, he was awesome. He was awesome for us, and it was so fun to watch him, don't get me wrong. But Bryant won an MVP. I mean, won a World Series with us. It's just a little different.
Okay, now if I say Anthony, if the Cubs get one of them, who would you rather have them have? Bryant or Castellanos?
I'd rather have Castellanos because we need offense. And Chris Bryant, we have a lot of Chris Bryant type of players on our team.
Personally, I think I'd rather have Chris Bryant.
And my thing with that is I think the Cubs are better off with Castellanos just because of the amount of infielders you guys have or are going after. You don't really have outfield.
He just brings offense like
Bryant.
Who's your start outfield?
Bryant could play the outfield.
Yeah, I know that.
Who's our?
He's not a natural outfield.
Unfortunately, you have Hayward. If Ian Happ's a starter,
forgot you have Hayward.
Hopefully, we can bring up Brendan Davis next year.
I mean, look, the Cubs are not looking to be a contender this year, though. That's the thing is they have to do this free agency planning for the future. And that's why I had said with the Correa thing, if you get Correa to along your deal, long-term contract, you have your middle infield set for the future with Madrigal and him. And, you sign I don't know.
What does he want? He wants 6 or 7 years is what Correa wants.
Is that what he wants? I'm fine. I'm totally fine with the Cubs.
Or 6 plus.
You got to spend your money somewhere. I mean,
We never spend money.
No,
we have the money.
Think about the big contract for the Cubs, right? You know what the big contract for the Cubs was? Hayward.
We tried for fucking James Shields.
Yeah,
Give away the face of baseball.
Give away the face. True.
Dude, if I could not imagine if that trade never went down. Tatis on the Sox.
That's Ryan's boy.
That would have been.
I mean, shit. You guys gave us Eli though, thankfully.
That is true. Yeah,
that was a huge trade.
I would say I think he's more. I know he wants to play the field. I think he's more of a DH. But now I know has a DH. So
we got Magical. So
yeah, who's already had 2 season-ending injuries.
All right, Eloy's been hurt too because he doesn't know how to rob a ball.
Yeah, I understand that, but he's at least has power.
You guys got Luis Robert. That's the one guy who I'm a fan of on your team.
If he can,
fucking Colas, he's gonna be a stud in a couple of years when he comes up.
I feel like a lot of the guys that you get are guys who can hit for power, but sometimes they strike out a lot. So we'll see what this guy, whoever his name is, can do.
Ooh, Madrigal?
You just said no, Colas, whatever his name is.
Oscar Colas?
Yeah.
I mean, well, he's also a lefty too. Which
the Sox have an interesting team, man. They have. You guys are
Robert
the number.
Did strike out a lot.
The number one word.
Strike out a lot, but they've lowered that swing rate and miss.
I feel like if I could describe the Sox in one word, it'd be potential. Like they have a lot of guys who are like younger,
trying to break out,
really good. Yeah, like could break out. Like where if like everything goes well, you guys will be really fucking good. But like, you know, there's a chance that doesn't happen. But I think Luis Robert will be a stud this year. I think
one word to describe Sox: Dominican.
Cuban.
My favorite kind of players. My favorite kind of players in baseball are those 5-tool guys. So I really like Robert. That's why I like Acuna and Trout and those kind of guys who are fast. They just do it all, guys. So, yeah.
I think we'll be. I think we see a better year from Makata at the plate. You know, with having time off. You know, he was hurt a lot last year, but he had to play through it. You know, Eloy being back, Robert being back, Grandal being back. I mean, we missed him for a few months, so we missed out on 75 homers between guys. Brady was hurt.
Yeah, no, that's
beamed everywhere. So, plus if we add a right fielder with power, like
one last thing before we end this thing, I saw this thing here with the Khalil Mack trade. The Chicago Bears are slated to have approximately $121 million in cap space for 2023.
That's next year.
The free agents that are set to hit the market in 2023.
Adams.
A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Adams, Deebo Samuel, Max Crosby, Orlando Brown, Cam Robinson, Tremaine Edmonds, Denzel Ward, Jair Alexander, and Derwin James.
Okay, so I'll say right now I don't think Derwin James will leave. I mean, I know we're talking about next year's free agency.
I also think Seattle trades Metcalf.
I think they'll trade Metcalf, but regardless.
And I think they trade who's that other wide receiver that they have?
Lockett.
Yeah.
It depends on what his contract is. DK, if he doesn't get traded, he's gone. I don't see him staying. I don't think Derwin James. So there will be some good corners, and the Packers will be off. They lost. Surely Aaron Rodgers doesn't let Devontae Adams leave, though, right? Next year. Surely not.
No, he ain't gonna leave.
Yeah, but
he's gonna stay for all the years.
Rodgers is Price is right.
It is interesting. With that being said, so a lot of stuff going on. We're probably gonna call it here next week. I'm sure we'll have a lot of free agent signings in the MLB to talk about. Who knows? We might have more MLB or NFL trades and all that to going on like it did this week. But that'll do it for us. Be sure to check out all our socials. All links are below. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Check us out on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you listen. If you want to listen to previous shows, they're all up there. Be sure to leave us a like, subscribe, and comment down below with anything you want us to talk about. Any questions you might have. Give us your input. What do you think of the Russell Wilson trade and the Wentz trade? Let us know. So. That being said, appreciate you guys listening, and hope you have a great weekend.
Bye.
That'll be it. Bye.